I know the longest stint I was ever on diet and did not come off of it a bit was 25 weeks. And it's because all I cared about was going to win all my shows that year. But I also was younger and I didn't have as, you know, my wife and bills and as much insurance to pay for and all that other stuff. You know, you have to fracture things out, you know, for life. You have to figure out where you're going to divulge all that energy. But even through John's diet, he's able to drop another 15 pounds, and it's just by consistency. It's not that it's always good or that he always wants it. He can tell you that. However, just that consistency and even then freeing his mind on the weekend a little bit for a couple meals, like, your ratio is so much higher. If you're eating 85% of your meals are perfect, like this kind of stuff, that last 15% is not going to have enough impact to negate all of it. And I'm not saying go out and eat 50-50, because then you're going to start losing, but if you can keep that 85 to 90% of good stuff in, like the 10% to keep you sane, you'll still taper down. It might not be as fast as if it was 100%, but it'll still happen. And you might go for longer.
I've always eaten really well. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily clean, not bad, mm-hmm. Not fucking fast food, not hamburgers, shit like that all the time. Really no fast food. But I would always eat dessert. I would eat clean and eat dessert, or eat well and eat dessert. But when you're not having desserts and you're really jonesing for something like that, it doesn't take much to satisfy that. It can be like some chocolate protein powder with some ice and some almond milk and a scoop of peanut butter. That will 75% of the time take care of that and knock it out of your mind. Or the Nature Valley cherry chocolate bars have little pieces of chocolate in them. Mm-hmm. They're high protein bars, but they're not as clean as a lot of the other bars. It's not as bad as eating a fucking metric, a big ass one of those Metrics bars.
Those are really good.
That's a fucking meal replacement. If you're not gonna eat for 5 hours, eat that.
They're so good.
But you can eat one of those bars and it'll take care of that. Like, you don't need a fucking piece of cake and a bowl of ice cream. Mm-hmm. When your body's not having it, it doesn't take much to satisfy it.
And I will say, if you do go on a diet, if you can stick to it, when you do eat that food you want, it will be more delicious than it was ever before. Just saying.
That's true.
It's true. There was, whenever I remember when I died, me and Rick Prince, one of Justin's clients, one of our close friends, we got ready and we were doing the Huntsville show that year. And out of the Huntsville show, we both went first, so we were like, oh, let's go eat. And everyone wanted to go eat steaks, and we were like, are you kidding? I'm not eating any type of meat like that. We're going to Waffle House, and we'll see you guys later. And I remember we ate, I forget what our tab was a piece, but I ate Waffle House until we were contemplating going to the ER because we couldn't breathe good anymore. We were both having problems standing, and we felt real dizzy. We thought maybe we killed each other, but we didn't. It ended up just being needed a little extrication from the body, and it was fine after that. But there for a minute, it was the best food on the face of the planet. But anyway, it does reward you later. Plus, even when we were really swole from our food, it looked like we had turtle shells sitting in our stomach because you can still see our abs, even though we were packed full of terrible food. So if you're gonna be fat, at least be able to have. You've seen the guys in the pictures that's like a joke, but they leaned on a fence and spray painted it. It makes it look like there's abs. It looks like that whenever you're really lean and you eat bad. But anyway.
So I'm putting rice, egg whites, and 2 whole eggs in there. The whole eggs are for fat because I still need fat. Why are they in there? Just to...
Yeah, they have choline and they've got some fat stuff in there. Not to mention, as far as I'm concerned, they add a little flavor. I don't know if you notice that, like, if you eat the plain egg whites, it's like eating a cloud.
Yeah.
Like a white tasteless cloud, unless you add some pepper and salt.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But if you add a whole egg in there, it helps. I didn't know it, so when Justin first gave me my diet, he said you can have a shake, or you can have or you can have egg whites and whole eggs. I, for some reason, thought that he meant I should put egg whites in my shake with whole eggs.
Well, people used to do that.
Yeah, and
now it's God
if you're
forbid,
not supposed to,
you're gonna die. Yeah. You can get salmonella.
Yeah, like so. Egg whites are pasteurized. You're good on those. Whole eggs, not so much. I'm not saying you get sick for eating a raw whole egg, but you're just not really. It's not a great idea.
I did it as a kid. I remember mixing up Tiger. There was no protein.
Rocky
Bar
did it.
didn't exist.
Yeah, Rocky did it.
Yeah, it was Tiger Milk bars, egg whites, milk, and whatever fucking You really couldn't go buy protein powder. Walmart didn't even exist.
Yep. But I just remember doing that. I remember telling him one day. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Are you eating raw eggs?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Boy, you're gonna get sick." He's like, "You're crazy, crazy." I was like, "I thought that's what you meant." He's like, "No." He was like, "I'm surprised I didn't." He said, "How many weeks you been doing that?" I was like, "I don't know, like 6."
I never got sick from it.
I don't think I ever got sick. Which I say I didn't get sick. I had gas all the time.
But that was just shitty protein back then, most of it.
I don't know. It could have been. I know I could peel the paint off this walls back then. Like, I'd have been melting all this plastic. It would have just been sitting there like oozing like butter on a hot skillet.
Joe Weider was like the main product out there because you weren't in bodybuilding stores, you know.
Not yet. Yeah.
You were at like Sports Authority, Sport Mart, shit like that. You know, Big Five Sporting Goods. So they had some Joe Weider weight bars and the bicep blaster and shit like that. And then they had it was Muscle 2000 or something. It was 2,000 calories. And it was a tub. I don't think it was even a tub. It might have been in a bag back then. It was 2,000 calories. But to get 2,000 calories, you had to use the whole bag.
Yep.
So when you mixed it up, it called for a gallon of milk. When you mixed that shit up, it was like brownie batter. It literally was like fucking cake batter. Like you would get so fucking sick trying to eat that. There was no way you could do it.
I used to ask, whenever I first met him, I was like, "What do you think about weight gainers?" He's like, "They're the stupidest, most marketed thing ever." He was like, "That's literally geared towards all the skinny kids that can't gain weight to make them fat, so that they'll buy other stuff." Justin was like, he's like, "It is absolutely pointless." He's like, "Look at the protein ratio on it." He's like, "It's horrible." And that's whenever he got me into Species Nutrition. Before Justin came out, was what we used. Species Nutrition is Dave Palumbo's brand.
Is that like carnivore or something, meat protein?
Species isn't. It's an isopure, but it was the highest percentage of protein per other stuff they had to use in the protein to make it edible that was on the market. And they had a creatine also that was cutting edge, and a few other things. Dave Palumbo coaches a lot of really successful athletes, but that was what we used whenever I first met him, was all Species stuff.
I don't know what I did here, but this plate looks a lot smaller than the other one, so I will eat this one if you would like more volume.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I could go on and on with the bodybuilding stories. It's funny.
Give some.
I forgot how long I did that. You know, people talk about being tired of it. I forgot. From 2008 to 2011, I lived and breathed it. When I first met Mallory, I was getting ready for a show.
Mallory did a show.
And she did 2 shows. I coached her for 2 shows.
How'd that go?
No, 3 shows.
Could you coach her now?
Yeah.
Could you?
Yeah. It is, as much as I mess with her and stuff like that about being kind of sassy, and she is, I will say I have never in my life met a more ambitious, hard-nosed woman than my wife. Like that chick, I worked her in the gym so hard, I would push her so hard she'd break down in tears and be cussing and crying while she was working out, but she wouldn't stop. I was always impressed. She would go with me until we both were so broke down that we couldn't even move. But that's good bodybuilding. If you're that broke down where you're emotionally distraught and you think you could die any moment, you're probably doing bodybuilding right.
Because a lot of bodybuilding, you are almost dying.
Yeah, you
or
feel like it.
At least competing, you're close to.
Yeah, you feel like it.
Like, if you went to the emergency room like the day before a show,
yeah,
they would fill you full of a bunch of shit.
They'd start taking care of you. They'd fix you.
They're like, we ran all your chemical levels and you have gasoline inside you. How did that get in there?
It's true, man. It's a rough sport. I played a lot of sports. I played baseball, soccer, football, and
there are people out there that'll say it's not a sport.
Yeah, I did Tough Mudders and all that shit.
Just like there's dudes that'll say motocross isn't a sport.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
But bodybuilding, I've never had a tougher sport than bodybuilding.
You don't even have to have skill and jump the jumps. Just go ride the track.
Yeah,
just try to get 3 laps in.
Just try and get the balls to do some of that shit you see the motocross riders.
I'm not even talking about that part of it. I'm talking about just go ride the track.
Just the mental aspect of it, I couldn't do. I would want to do. Yeah, I'm gonna go how high, how fast? Based on physics, I calculate that I'll break this many bones if I do that.
That's the fun part of it. There are a lot of dudes that can jump because like freestyle's been out long enough. There are kids that will just go and they can hit ramps and your gap 75 and 70% of your fucking jump is your landing. If you got a fucking safe landing, especially a long landing, overshoot it, come up short. If it's a step up, it's a lot safer. But there's a lot of kids now that never have been on a track. So you look at the old school guys, Deegan and them dudes. They came from motocross because freestyle didn't exist. There was no freestyle gear. There was no stuff for that. It was motocross. It was tidy gear that came into that, and then it was like snowboard shit.
Yeah.
But you take kids like they can't go ride a track. I mean, all the jump shit aside, tricks and all that stuff. Just go fucking try to ride the track. Just go ride the track. It will fucking wear you out.
I know, even just I have never ridden a dirt bike on a track ever, but I know just going out and riding 4-wheelers every once in a while when I get to go do that, I'm still, my hands hurt, my legs hurt, everything just different.
Okay, looking for you. Is that Zane?
Yeah.
This camera's rolling. You can come over here and get on it if you want.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I want to see this thing.
You don't have any wants or warrants or.
You're not in WITSEC or anything?
Witness. What's up? How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Good, man.
Hard, sir.
So what exactly do you do for a living?
Up until about 9 months ago, I drew comic books mainly.
Any of these guys would have ever heard of?
Probably not. More indie stuff.
Okay.
Just haven't had a shot at Marvel or anything
Yeah?
yet.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
You're obviously pretty good at it. We've seen just the rough sketches of these and like, holy shit.
And about 9 months ago, I took a full-time graphic design job. I'm not going to talk about that on camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of, I'll tell you guys about that a bit later, but it's involved in shooting and stuff.
That's awesome. You like it?
Yeah.
That's
I like
very
it a lot.
cool,
I
man.
moved from LA to Colorado for the job. So I don't get as much drawing time as I did
because you're
before,
doing
but
design work instead.
Right.
Were you a gun guy before, or did you just kind of?
Yeah, I got into guns maybe three and a half years ago. I was always kind of interested in them, but I wasn't like a gun guy. I wasn't a shooter or anything. Yeah, until I.
Then once you started, so
I bought my first AR lower, and then I was hooked.
How'd you find James? Because you drew a picture of James before we met.
I think I was just looking up videos on YouTube, like home defense and shotgun videos and stuff, and one of his videos popped up. And then through James, through his channel, I became aware of FX Hummel, and then kind of response to then you guys.
That's awesome.
Have you met Jordan?
Not yet.
That's FX Hummel.
Right.
I call him Justin, and I think it actually irritates me.
I was talking to him about that one day. I was like,
I can't tell if he's really mad, but I will tell you.
I think he can't decide if he's mad.
I will tell you
he's
he's worked for TAC Response now for at least 6 months, and he hasn't been in this building one time since he started working here. You want some eggs?
oh, I'm good, thanks. I stayed up at my grandma's and she made me pretty good.
I was going to say that you had a good breakfast,
yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, I'll bet you had a taste of your breakfast than what we're having. So we were joking. Colin always said, like in Globo Gym.
Which, I was joking, but I really did want it to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen. John's got a new office.
He's got a huge portrait on the cliff, taking the bull by the horns. He's like, that's me taking the bull by the horns.
And he's like, it's a
metaphor.
It's a metaphor, but really, that happened.
So
So for all of you who have seen that, you know what I'm talking about.
So we were joking about it, and Zane had done some drawings, some cartoon work of me at a sewing machine with a cock and stuff. And which was really cool. So he heard us talking about it, and he said, "Hey, I can make that happen." So he has made that happen, and that's what's in this tube right here. That's a really ugly holster. Whose holster is that?
It's the one that came with the suit.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's some motherfuckers around that think, "Oh, I don't know if you know that."
Yeah, oh, I know. I got it like 3 weeks ago, and
Do you like it?
yeah, ugly gun. Yeah, I love it.
We got these dudes, Christian Green Force
Yeah, I've
Tactical,
been talking to him.
Leatherneck, NSR.
Bravo.
There's a bunch of them. Bravo Concealment. Yeah, Bravo, man. The Bravo guys have been fucking.
They've been really cool.
Even
with us.
as cool as their shit is, those dudes are just cool. Like
Yeah.
we see those
I
guys.
enjoy just talking to Bravo dudes. I feel like I'm part of a cartel. Like again, like I was back home, and now I'm part of one here
In Colombia,
in Colombia.
the real Colombia,
Yeah.
not Colombia.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
not Colombia, Tennessee. Colombia, Popayan. From the jungle. I am from the jungle.
So we have to do some touch on it to kind of finish it off with that cool paint, and it wasn't sticking to it.
Oh shit!
So I had sprayed a fixative over it, so I just wiped it right off. But man, the digital part came out pretty good. So
Holy shit! Woman, come look at this. You see it?
Yeah. That is awesome.
You want one for over the bed?
No.
That's awesome.
Dude, that looks so good.
Why would I need to look at a picture when I can just look at you?
So now Justin has to turn me into that.
I was gonna say now you really need to get back into the gym and lift some heavy weights because
No, I'm just gonna get a loincloth.
Dude.
he's not wearing a loincloth.
Yes, he
Wearing
is.
Pants.
That's a loincloth.
Yeah, Mom, that's a loincloth.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's awesome,
it is.
dude.
My
That
legs-
is really
It's like
good.
Hercules taking.
That's so cool.
Got some work to do there, buddy.
That's perfect. I want the first time when you're in your new office and you got that painting behind you to bring someone in and be like, I need to talk to you in my office, and they come in and you be sitting down there and they're like looking at it and you go, oh, that's just me taking the bull by the horns. It's a metaphor. And like the new hire be like, okay, be like, but that happened. That's real.
Whoa, webcam in there.
Like take one of like the taxi, like someone serious in there. Just sit down and act like it's not there. Like I was doing some bull wrestling this weekend. My arms are really tired. Didn't even address the picture though. That was taken this weekend.
You know, Pope would like that.
Probably.
We hired a tax law firm, and when I'm talking to Dana, I go, "What do you think of the dude?" He said, "I think he's I'm spitting names up." He goes, "I think he's the right guy." I said, "What? What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, for qualifications and life experiences on their website, he listed Vietnam War as life experiences and qualifications. But he had, when we met him, we couldn't go meet him that week because he was running with the bulls, and he's ran with the bulls several times. He's like
70 something.
You wouldn't know. Like he runs fucking half marathons and shit.
He runs an hour every day on his lunch break.
It's crazy.
We go downtown Nashville, and we just have an address. We don't know really where we're going, and we pull up. And it's the tallest building. It's right across from Vanderbilt Stadium.
Mhm.
His office looks into the stadium. And I said, "What floor is this dude on?" Danny goes, "He's the top floor."
He's on the top.
Uh-huh.
I go, "Shit." So we got out of that meeting. I go, "What did that just cost?" It was like $10,000 for the hour and a half we were up there.
Yeah.
It's fucking wow.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, that's the kind of dude. That's the dude you want.
He's a good dude, though. I
And
mean,
he's cool. Like we fucking,
he's funny.
we go in there and sit and bullshit. I'm sure he charges me every minute we sit and bullshit. But
That's all right.
he's like, "You just keep talking. I'll just keep clicking this button." So you're in town for class?
yeah, for fighting pistol.
Awesome. You've never taken it?
No.
Here, have a blast.
I hope you're not wearing those jeans out there. They'll get ruined.
That's fine.
You can get some
I
Dickies
brought
from
them.
Walmart for $40, man.
Yeah.
That's what I wore.
Yeah.
I literally went, like, just for classes, I'd go buy some because dickies aren't shitty really. You can use them for anything after that because
Right.
they're not going to mess up. But they're down there cheap. Get those and some boots, you're good to go.
Cool.
But yeah, you'll have a good time. Isaiah's taking a fighting pistol this weekend too.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Good.
Yep.
Stay far away from him.
He's got he got all his rounds in and everything, and he's gonna take it. But yeah, I've taken it twice, and I would take it a third time. I would take it a third and fourth time. There are people in there that have taken it more than that. You get better every time, and you get more confident and build more speed and more skill every single time. And the instructors can move on with you, helping you. They're not teaching you the beginning stuff anymore. Now they're helping you this and this, and then you can take advanced fighting pistol and go on from there. But
And not
Yep.
only that, but you'll learn something new every time you take it.
yeah, you can
It's
just
a
walk
different,
up.
it's a different class every time you take it.
Yeah.
You can walk to the range and learn something, but taking the class, you learn a ton fast.
Cool.
It cuts your learning curve way out. Because they're good instructors. They really take time with you and help you understand what it is you should be doing and why. Not just what you should be doing, but why.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
We'll have a good time. I'm in for a fun weekend. A weekend of shooting and hanging out with a bunch of dudes and shooting the shit. It's hard to beat.
Do you have any retention on that holster?
Not really.
It literally just slides in and out.
Yeah,
no
I
positive
mean,
clip or
you
anything?
can tighten it, but it's pretty
Okay.
loose.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that, stick?
Yeah. It's their new strength fire.
I was gonna say that's their dependable one. Their striker fired one.
You got a Glock with you also?
They'll have some there. You can
They'll have one you can borrow when that one breaks. I'm just getting it out of the way. James is going to tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I signed up for this class because James was going to be teaching in it. And then like a week or 2 weeks ago I got an email that he was going on the hog hunt, so he's not going to be there for it.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
He didn't
Gotta go
teach.
do that.
He didn't teach either one of mine. Taught part of one of the lectures, but he had to go after that. But the instructors more than cover everything.
Oh
they
yeah,
need.
I'm sure.
A good thing though, like he was saying, to break, you will find out if there is a fracture point, if there is a weakness in there.
Right.
Now, I ran Glock out whenever I was taking it, but like us, we saw some other pistols come through and do okay. We also saw some that didn't in both my classes. So, if you're going to test one that you think you're going to depend your life on, it's a good way to do it. Run 1,000 through it in a weekend. Most people don't run 1,000 through their pistols ever.
Typically, the more expensive the gun, the less it fucking will run. It'll be beautiful. It'll be like a piece of artwork, but it won't fucking make it through the class. Especially like modified 1911 shit. Fucking never.
It was sad. We got to see a really nice 1911. My last class. It was 50 degrees, 45 degrees. Pouring rain so hard that I couldn't see out of my safety glasses. And so much of our time was spent on the ground moving and stuff. When I would drop mags, I had to pick them up and sling the mud and dirt out of the mag and pour water over them to try and reload them again. But I didn't have a single failure in my Glock. But I remember the one dude that had the 1911. It was a nice one. I forget what he said it was or whatever. It got locked up so hard they actually couldn't move the action anymore, and he had to switch over.
You look at all the rental guns. They'll have a fucking shitload of 19s, and they'll have a few like 21s. Like, why do you have those? He said, because dudes always show up with 1911s. They just don't make it.
And they
to
got
class.
the ammo.
They have the ammo for it. We have to have something to hand them.
Yeah, I think you got 50-50 chance all weekend to bring.
So where do you live?
Fort Collins,
How long did you drive?
18 hours.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of Nashvilles. Like when I was looking at Nashville, there's a Nashville, California.
I know that.
Yeah, there's a shitload of Nashville. So like, I have no fucking clue where Fort Collins was.
Huh.
What elevation?
Just under 5,000.
It's pretty high.
It's about an hour and 15 north of Denver. 45 minutes south of Cheyenne.
Do a lot of snow sport shit.
I haven't gone into it anyway. I've only been there, for about 9 months.
Yeah.
Do you live
And
in a
work
log,
keeps
you live in
me
a log
busy.
cabin?
No,
No?
no, that would be cool.
That's what I know of Colorado, skiing and log
Yeah.
cabin. I
Yeah.
watched the
My-
cabin show.
My wife and I have been talking about getting a place. And, I mean, we're right by the mountains. It's like maybe a half-hour drive.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
You ever see Tom Cruise?
You
He
know
lives in
that?
Colorado.
Like there'd be neighbors.
Probably-
Yeah, actually, I just saw him in the store.
No, like I lived in LA for 3.5 years, and I obviously saw a ton of celebrities out there. Like I'd be driving down the road and not even thinking about it, and I'd see somebody. But
You
You
saw
like-
Little Wayne in Atlanta last time we were there.
Do you like Colorado better than LA?
there's things I like about both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like that Colorado's a lot freer
Mm-hmm.
than anywhere in California. But I mean, I grew up in Southern California, so
Where at?
Palm Springs.
Okay. Palm Springs is nice.
Yeah, it's hot.
There's a lot of money on Palm Springs.
Right. Yeah, I miss California. It's just there's too much bullshit.
Dude, I don't miss. I miss like mountain biking. I miss
Yeah.
pieces of it, a few people, but I don't have any intention of ever going back to California. We go out to Vegas, and it's very much like California was.
Yeah.
Here we go to Nashville, the same damn land developers develop the same strip malls. Any place you want to shop or eat, it's all in Nashville, just like it was San Diego. We drive 90 minutes and you're back in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We see dudes shooting in these gravel pits right on the way to work. Literally, you just drive past them.
You can go down and talk to them. They'll give you a beer.
Yeah. They'll let you ride their lawnmower while they're shooting.
That's the first time I went to the what's it called? The church. What's that place?
Sand pits?
Sand pits. We were out there sighting in my gun, and there was no one there, and we could hear some bikes out in the background. And Taylor was like, "Hey, stop shooting! There's people coming." And 7 bikes and 4 trucks. And they don't get out and just to shoot the shit. They get out and they put out lawn chairs, and they dig their bikes into the ground and everything, and they all crack coolers and sit down and watch me sight in the rifle. I was like no one had ear
They had
protection.
nothing else going on.
Every time somebody was gonna shoot, they'd be like, "All right, everybody." It was funny. And then I didn't know it. Taylor's got shotguns and a trap thrower in the back of the truck. We get out, and we start shooting the trap. I was like, "Wow, this is a very very laid back place. I like it."
Yeah. We'll go ahead and cut that shit off. That video's gonna run long enough as it is.
All right.